Brother, can you tell me why you're out here today?
To help to support for my little brother. He was killed last Sunday by Denver Police Department. And also out here for the rest of the families that lost their loved ones too by the Denver cops. And I think it's time that they come to a stop with that.
For sure, and I'm really sorry about your brother. I heard the story. For people who may not know, what I heard and what people want to say is that he was acting out violently, but what I've heard is that the claims made by the police were false. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, the police, all the reports that they were reporting wasn't even close to being true. My brother was trying to leave because my mom told him, you can't stay here. So he was trying to leave, get his stuff and leave. And that's from what I know. And she called the cops because she wanted. She called for help from the police department. And when they showed up, they started chasing my brother, and my brother ran. They cornered him, and when he had the knife to his throat, he was telling the cops,
his own throat,
and he was telling the cops, "I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself." And the cops shot him. They shot 4 times, but they struck him 3 times.
And they claim that he stabbed your mother in the neck.
Yeah, she wasn't even hurt.
She had no signs of any violence. Again, I'm really sorry, man. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
We're here to support you. How you doing? You guys here supporting the police today?
We are.
You guys familiar with the fact that Denver has the second most lethal force in the country? They kill more people at a rate higher than any other police force except Baltimore. Are you familiar with that?
So why don't you take your protests to the polls, get a new police, get new mayor, that kind of thing, instead of disrupting, because there are a lot of good policemen who put their lives on the line every day. I spent 20 years in the Air Force and went to Afghanistan twice, so I know what it's like to put your life on the line and have people who every day want to shoot you in the head.
Right, but that's kind of the mentality that happens on the police force, even though they're supposed to be protecting and serving. I'm not going to argue that there's not good ones, but there's so many bad ones that we have the second most lethal force in the country.
Why do you have to be here? I mean, we want to celebrate those that are good.
Because less than a week ago, Denver police shot a guy that they claimed had stabbed.
Why don't you go to the police headquarters and let us have our little, I mean, we don't do this every day. We're here one day for a couple hours. Let us have our time, and you have your time all the time,
I understand that, but I'll say this, that Governor Hickenlooper just declared today Colorado Police Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. How can we have an Appreciation Day when they're killing people just last week, the weeks before, the months before?
How many good things have they done? Don't we deserve to be appreciative of those things? That I know when I call 911 and someone's breaking in my house, that I can have someone there?
You know what? I wouldn't call them because I don't believe that they're good or trustworthy. I think that that's like what this mother did who was having trouble with her son, who they claim he stabbed her in the neck. She wasn't stabbed in the neck. They showed up and they shot him. She was wanting help from the police. That's really, I don't think we're on so far of different sides, because we want the police to protect and serve. These folks are calling on them to do that. I know it looks threatening and disrespectful, but disrespect
like that doesn't help you. You know what I mean?
That's one man's opinion.
Well, then there's that one. I mean, most of them have bad language on it. I give your group zero credibility with this kind of reaction, and so will a lot of people.
So, but you're giving credibility to the cops who just shot a man.
I'm giving credibility to those people who do a good job day in and day out. We don't hear about those people. All we hear about are the ones that do bad, and that happens.
But that's kind of the idea of media and press and democracy, is that we'd be able to hold people accountable.
They could choose to run the good stories, like the good things cops do that they don't have to every day.
So I appreciate the conversation. I do want to say,
and if your people really like it, why do they have their face covered?
Because they'll be targeted.
Why are they wearing ISIS stuff? You guys look
like
ISIS. You guys look like ISIS with all your black.
They're doing it because they'll be targeted by the police. They do get arrested on trumped up charges. It's always resisting arrest.
Well, you guys have made your point, so let us have our rally in peace now.
Well, it's about the police feeling appreciated, and we don't.
So even though they do great things every day, we shouldn't appreciate that piece of it and work on fixing the
As
other.
long as they're killing people and covering it up regularly. I mean, this guy last week, they immediately said, oh, he stabbed his mother in the neck. That didn't happen.
But do you know the whole story of what was going on?
I know his mother, his mother shared with the media what happened. I'll send you the story if you like. I'll give you my card and I will email you the story, which includes an interview with the mother. She was scared. Her son had mental health issues, but she was asking for help, not for have her son killed. And they lied about how they handled it. That's the part
The part I have a problem with is like Ferguson. Ferguson, that guy was a scumbag. He was trying to get his job, and they.
Now, how do you know that?
Because the Department of Justice looked into it and found that out.
And they found civil rights violations across Ferguson. The chief police resigned. You're defending a racist.
The issue in the beginning was that guy, whatever, Michael Brown. Yeah, that was his name. You know, and they said, oh, he was running away. He was shot in the back. No, he wasn't. He was a guy that had just robbed a store, that was trying to get the officer's gun, and the officer was not wrong in what he did. Yet that poor guy will never work again because
that poor guy got almost $1 million in donations. That poor guy did kill an unarmed man. That's because he shot an unarmed young man, Michael Brown, and
who was trying to get his gun.
A lot of the people. So why do you think that a lot of the people on that police force have resigned subsequent to the Department of Justice finding civil rights violations there? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I haven't looked into that piece of it.
Well, we all hear what we want to hear, and we should listen to each other. I've heard what you've shared, and I've read about it, and I think from an educated perspective on it, Michael Brown could have been arrested. He didn't have to be killed. And we can disagree on that, but what you can't disagree on is the subsequent civil rights violations that the Department of Justice found. And it sounds like you're not familiar with that. So I hope you'll read it.
You guys also see what you want to see. And you take the 1% that are bad. And
if it was 1%, we wouldn't have to be here. And there's an officer, Jeffrey DeMana, here in Denver. He's shot at 4 different people this year. I believe 3 of them have been killed within a year. He's killed 3 people, shot at 4, and he's still on the force. If it's 1%, we know who some of these guys are. They're still defending him. We haven't had an indictment of a killer cop in 23 years in Denver. Do you think none of these people, when the law enforcement in this city are the second most lethal in the country, don't you think at least one of those should have been indicted? Should have been followed up?
You know, it's hard to say when you're not there. Have you ever been in a car accident?
Yeah.
Have you thought about it after and thought, geez, I could have done this or that and maybe avoided the accident?
Of course.
Don't you think that happens in any stressful
But you know what? In a car accident, I don't lie to the guy or gal I was in an accident with and pretend that I did nothing wrong. The last accident I was in, I got out to make sure they were all right, admitted my wrongdoing, my insurance paid them, I moved on. Responsibility, I think we agree that you have to be responsible. Denver PD is not responsible. That's why I think it's a mistake for you to be out here when you got Jeffrey DeManas on this department who are being protected by the Denver police. You know, if you want to hold them accountable with us and then have a celebration like this, I think we could all get out here together, but I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. But
I think, you know, you guys have made your point. We should move on and let us do what we want to do, too. You know, it's all you.
No, it's all the dead people. It's not me.
It's a free country. You know?
It is, and that's what...
Planning has gone into this, and you're ruining everybody's day.
Not really.
To this.
I hope we've ruined the sense of appreciation for the Denver's killer cops.
You probably enhanced it, actually.
That's okay. Well,
because of what you're doing. You just make us want to do it more. If you'd have gone, this would have happened. It'd have been done one day, and that's it. You guys could have done this every day of the week.
We do it all the time.
Exactly. So let us have our couple hours. And
If you really care about them, get out here. Keep watching the news. I gave you my card. Stay in touch. Take care of yourself.